Mika Vukovic, co-executive director of organizational empowerment for Wisconsin Voices. We have
Joe Dre, policy director.
Latoya. Do I gotta say my last name?
you don't want to get that government name out.
No, but I'm the director of organizing and partnership.
I missed y'all yesterday. Um, I got the cooties. I'm sick. I got the what everybody else is getting, which is that upper respiratory problems.
That's why I want to put one of these on here.
So we got the mics covered. We got everything going on. Today is a special day. Do we know why it is a special day?
I know.
Is it
Oh,
because
look at Joe Dre now. Joe Dre now.
is it Dre now?
Dre now?
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah,
See, I know. Don't you want to call him Dre now a little bit?
Like the Drano, the
Dre.
Drano.
Dray. Dre.
Oh, Dre. But Drano, like Drano with the Y instead of the I.
Sure,
Dre
yeah.
knows though.
Drano.
I do know. I know the answer to that question.
Is it because it's a week away from
So do
election
you put
Tuesday?
two on here or do you
No.
That's- hey, have you ever? Listen,
you gonna-
God be the
This is AM radio,
glory.
right?
Why is today
the
special,
kids
Joe?
are at school.
Joe, why is today special?
Today is special because it is the start of early voting.
Ding, 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 ding. You know what? We need some like background, like clap music. You know, we don't got no good like. Yeah, so we gotta get on in that. But today is the first day of early voting. There is primaries all over the place. We will be speaking with one. We have candidates that are coming on in the next between now and February 9th. We have one of the candidates for the 7th Aldermanic District. He will be speaking with us in a little bit. But we want to give you information on early voting, and that is, I have early voted for the last, I want to say 6 or 7 years, because I used to vote right, bright and early, 7 o'clock when it opened up, and I was something happened that I barely was able to vote that one year, and I said I will never let that happen again. So I decided to do my early voting, and I go in, I do it in person, early voting. I think my daughter, she does mail in, so she has her ballot mailed to her. My mom get her mailed, so it's just so convenient to be able to vote. But we are looking at the three. Um, Early voting is from February 16th.
February 6th.
February 6th through February 17th. There are three places that are open constantly, which is Zeidler Building, the Capitol Drive Voting Center, which is on 60th and Capitol.
Mhm.
That it moved from Midtown to 60th and Capitol. So, when you go into Midtown, remember, oh, wait a minute, I got to go across the street.
Yeah.
Because it's just literally right across the street from the Midtown Center.
That bank. That old
It's
bank.
on the southwest corner
Mhm.
of 60th and Capitol.
Yep.
And Zablocki Library. Those hours are weekdays from 9 to 5, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 p.m. Again, those three locations.
And it's the old Milwaukee Bank.
Right. Those three locations, Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 2 p.m. And you can register at the polling locations. That is the only way you can register now, is at a polling location when you when you vote, and on the day of election, you can register that day. Now, there are other sites, which is Washington Park Library, Tippecanoe Library, and Good Hope Library.
Mhm.
And they are open weekdays from noon until 5 p.m. and then Saturdays from 10 to 2 p.m. Remember, early voting starts today.
Let
Get
your
out
vo-
there.
let
So
your
get
voice
your
be heard.
voice be heard. Hey, there you go,
Took
Joe.
a took it out of your mouth. Yep.
What
Let
you
your
talking
voice be
about?
heard.
What is it called? Be a voice. We have right now we're starting this program, and we're starting a series that we are going to be talking to we reached out to all the primary candidates, so we really want to talk to them first, make sure that the people that are on the ballot for the primary are the ones that are, you know, that we get to know. And once we do that, then we were going to try to reach out to go to all the candidates that are going to be on the general ballot as of February 21st. So we'll start that on our first show after the election. Now, y'all people acting up in here. I know y'all can see this on Facebook, but they acting up in here. Oh Lord. So as we do this, if anybody wants to call in, ask questions of any candidates, it is 414-444-5250. Again, it's 414-444-5250. And without a further ado, we will welcome our first candidate for the 7th Aldermanic District, and this is DeAndre Jackson. Yay!
Yay!
Good morning, Milwaukee, especially 7th District. DeAndre Jackson, UAW Local 469, running for alderman in the 7th District of Milwaukee, looking to represent you. Thank you.
Wait a minute now. What you mean, especially 7th District? Are they special or something?
Absolutely. I mean, the alderman is essentially a mini mayor. I mean, I'm not trying to change it into like, gang wars or nothing, but it's all about the 7th District.
Oh. So I'm gonna get into some of those things because I'm real partial, and when it comes to serving the people, and that is what Wisconsin Voices has always tried to do, or try to uplift and build communities. And I've also been an alderwoman. It was this 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'm going into my 8th year. So I do know a little bit about it. It's a smaller city. We in a small city. We only got 13,000. That's your district, I think. Our whole city is 13,000 people, but I think that's your district. But I think if the one, and I will let you talk a lot more, but what we really want to hear first, I ask everybody this question: what does an alderman do? Before we get into what you say, what do you exactly are supposed to do?
Well, I'll start with the basics, garbage, recycling, tree branches, sewer district, basically the mini mayor, the quarterback for all the city services in the area. And when you call down, you have a problem, it's not me that goes out and do it. I kick it up to whoever takes care of it, Department of Neighborhood Services, the DPW, and work closely with those organizations. And again, just quarterbacking, so to speak, sending them to the right places to go, and working tightly with them to make sure everything gets done, and not just done correctly.
All right, that's a decent answer. Tell us about yourself.
Well, homegrown, Milwaukee, my entire life. Graduated from Bayview High School. Went to Edison as middle school. Back then, I lived with my mom's on 49th and Villard. She gave me money for the bus because they didn't accept that I was 12 years old.
Well, whoa. So for people who can't see, yeah, he's kind of a tall boy. He's a big boy.
So they wouldn't accept that I was 12 years old, so they charged me full fare. So I get the 125 back then, and I just walk to school and keep the money. Me and my friends.
So
we
you
did that all the time.
All the time.
Wait a minute. So you were a saver from a young age.
Absolutely.
Then go on.
Oh, then from there, moved in with my brother when I was about 13. Started getting bigger than my mom, so she sent me to live with my brother. And that's where I got the basis of my foundation of hard work and just the grind. He's a retired police officer, 28 years, and
So let's tell the truth. He was a police officer. Mama said, I ain't having you go wayward. So let me go and let Big Brother help you out and do what you got to do.
Oh yeah, I mean that was the right choice. She had me later in life. I think I'm 38. My mother has to be 74 right now, so she had me later in life. And when I was getting to that age and getting bigger than her, I was never gonna threaten her or anything. But I think she whooped me, and I was just standing there.
Oh yeah, when you get to that age where they whoop you,
Yeah,
you
she
can't
was
feel it.
she whooped me, and I was just standing there, and she's like, "You gotta move with your brother." So
Okay, then what did you do after that?
after that, caught the bus from over there, went to middle school, still went to Edison, and then went to high school to play football and do carpentry as well at Bayview High School. Now I don't know if some of the programs exist, but that all these processes built to my foundation of the things I did in the future.
Okay. Um, I think you worked as a union man at Masterlock for a long time, right?
Absolutely. Actually, I was just looking at my notes. I'm a Big Step alumni. That's WRTP Big Step. Also, if you go there, take a piece of mail with you and get in. You want the RPP program. That's the residential. That is the preference program to get on city jobs. Since I've been out, I've been promoting it. Make sure everybody goes. So Big Step alumni. I was able to get my OSHA 10, my forklift license, and then I went into Masterlock and started my 16-year illustrious career.
So the seventh district, and I'm gonna read the neighborhoods that it consists of because some people may not know they live in the seventh district, but that was the alderman right now is Khalif Rainey. He has decided to not run for the seat again, so it's an open seat, and you have three other candidates vying to get on the ballot for the, so two of them will move forward on the general at the general, and that's April 2nd, but the primary is February 20th. And sometime, and I always believe that we really need to pay attention to those primaries because one of the candidates you really like, but you think, oh, he'll get through or she'll get through, may not get through, and that could be by one vote, two votes. So really pay attention to your primaries. But these the neighborhoods are Sherman Park, Old North Milwaukee, Franklin Heights, Roosevelt Grove, Sunset Heights, St. Joseph, Lincoln Creek, Wall Park, Hampton Heights, and those are the neighborhoods that the seventh consists of.
Mhm. You gotta include the new group, Norwich.
That ain't wasn't on the list, so I don't know nothing about no. Just kidding.
They changed the line, so we adopted 2 wards from the 10th district. So now they're 7th district.
Okay. Well, why do you think you should be their next alderperson?
Well, if you serve right and pay attention to politics and just in general in life, politics, management, real estate owners, you have the right people in place, the right things happen. And if the wrong person in place, it's quick. It shows itself quick when people show you who they really are. So let's say you get a new boss, right away everything changes. You get a new neighbor, right away everything changes. You get the wrong politician in place, right away everything changes. So you got to have the right people in place. And I feel like I could be that right person. And it starts with the people. Like I said, in the plant, being a steward, representing the people, representing the contract, making sure they treat it fairly, and the company or the big wigs adhere to the contract. And not only that, people bring to you their intimate, private matters. The biggest part that people leave out, keeping things private.
Mm-hmm.
They confide in you. It should be an unwritten rule that keep it to yourself, keep it private, or if you have to involve others, talk to them first about it. So
I'd like that you are. It seems like you're a little bit of people driven for your people, and that you're trying to look out for the welfare of the people, and that's what we really want to see in our elected officials. But I always say that, and this is just my personal thing, that alder people, state reps, senators are policymakers. Um, you can you can ride or die for them, or for your neighborhoods, but if you're not bringing policies that will help them, it defeats the purpose of being in office.
Absolutely, and I would bring it back to the planner owners. Let's say a new owner of this radio station, he comes in and just say, "All right, this is now going forward a Christian rock station." now,
Hallelujah.
now, not talking to the people first and getting the people's input will cause a problem. So if you don't talk to you on the front end, you're definitely gonna hear about it on the back end. So I say if you start with the people, nobody does the work like the people. So let's say a tree trimmer or the people that go out and collect trees that fall and prune trees and stuff. In my mind, it seemed like that process could be easier, but I can't make up my own view of it. It's better just to talk to the person that actually does it. Nobody knows how to do the job instead of the person that does it every day. You know.
So when you campaign, most of the time you have your 3 things that you want to work on. That's how they teach you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have what are your 3 things that you're looking at in the city to work on?
Well, start off in the city or in the district?
Or in district, I mean.
Okay.
Well, city district.
Okay,
It's kind of
7
it's universal.
It's universal. It's
Mhm.
universal. So I would start with the people. Like again, there's no point in making policies and just implementing on people instead of just talking to them first. Or if we have to make that tough decision and swallow that pill, the communication will be key. And all the neighborhoods you mentioned, it'll be going to community brainstormings and letting people know what's coming down the pipeline and what are their concerns and what they think about it, and implement it that way from the bottom up instead of just from the top down, raining down on the people. That'll be better. So that's one, the communication.
So you taking us started from the bottom, now we here approach. Oh, okay. I was just checking. Keon, is that the approach you need to take?
Multitasking with headphones on. You said what? I would say
He's
what?
going to start it from the bottom, now we here approach.
I'll start from the bottom. Now I'm here.
Yeah, that's the approach you're trying to take.
Yeah. Crawl before you walk. Understand the game all the way through.
I don't know
I
how
think, is
to.
that what we were talking about? Am I on point?
No,
Yeah,
just
you
starting with the people.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Instead of me just bringing you a pack of papers like, all right, this is what I need you to do. It's easier for me to talk to you first and work together.
See what you need, actually.
Yeah.
Because you might not need that paper.
Yeah. So listen, if I'm sitting in the lab somewhere and I tell you that it's a better way to do what you're doing, nobody knows how to do that but you. You could tell me what will work better for you, a better chair, more ergonomics,
Right.
anything.
Ergonomics. Yeah, see, that's a working man right there.
So we are going to
Supervisory position, all that stuff. Back straight. He understands the game.
Mhm. You supposed to have a little rest on your
Yeah.
to stop the carpal tunnel. Yeah,
Look,
start
he
the carpal
understands
tunnel, man.
properly.
Ergonomics. We got to make our bodies last as long as possible.
I ain't heard that word in 11, 12 years. I ain't gonna lie. I said it a couple
And
times.
did you say 11? He said 11.
12.
12.
11, 12.
Yeah,
11,
that's
12,
what's-
I'm
11.
going on 12 years here. So it's about 13. Jason.
If anyone has a question for DeAndre Jackson, 414-444-5250. I am prepared. I have that number memorized now because I ain't having Keon clown me no more. But again, if you have any questions, 414-444-5250. We're going to take a break real quick and then we're going to come back with DeAndre Jackson, 7th District Alderperson candidate.
or jobs, careers. We have a lot of things in the pipeline that are already working. They just need the people to push the people to get to it, get the information out. And something that I've already been working on. I'm actually out on the doors. I think I got 5 people signed up through Big Step, and Big Step is the conduit to get into the trades. And actually, just Big Step, WRTP Big Step, just received additional funding, and it'd be great to help filter that and put that to use in the right way. Get our people to work.
Okay. Do you have any other plans for where you, because you have some very influential neighborhoods,
Mhm.
um that, and I don't want to say influential in the sense that they are more important than any other neighborhood, but they have the spotlight a lot of times.
Absolutely. Good, strong residents and good, strong community organizations that are involved in a lot of things, and just however I can help. I'm not coming in trying to reinvent the wheel. Get in, learn, and see how I can help and fit in. Again, not trying to force nothing on somebody. You let me know. I come in with my glass empty. Let me ready to learn. No.
Oh, okay. But I'm thirsty and I need a full glass. um what about your like, I hate this question, but it kind of, when you decided to run, what pushed you? Like, everybody think, a lot of people think, oh, I want to be an alder person, I want to be school board, I want to be assembly. And then when you sit down and think about it, it's like, what was the thing that pushed you to do it?
Well, it's something I've been thinking about for years, actually. My first run-in with it or experience with it was when I was a kid. The house burned down across the street, and the alderman showed up with the fire department, the Red Cross, toys, and everything. I even got a new toy that year. I was like 2 years old, and just the way the whole block came together and supported this family that lost everything was just kind of gave me the spark. But that was like 10 years old. But then as I get older and get into more politics and policies and how important things is, or how important the people at the top is, or how important leadership is, it just fit. And actually right now is just the perfect time. You don't want to go against the incumbent, because you got to trash the incumbent on your way in. But this is the right time, just truly the right time. The big OG removed all blockage and all excuses out my way, so you just got to take it.
I understand that part where you talk about like the alderman you saw. You know who I used to see would come at our door? I grew up on 21st and Atkinson. And every 2 years, I swear, this man would come and knock on our door. And I would still remember to this day, because my mom would be like, I'd be like, Mom, there's a little white man in front of our house. And on 21st and Atkinson, we all know what that means. And it was Jim Moody.
Okay.
And Jim Moody, and I swear I saw that man for every 2 years for, I think, until I left out the house or whatever. But he was consistent in doing the doors, and I remember him, and I was like, wow. And I had no clue, and I remember I was kind of young, but I don't remember. I just remember him coming and talking to my mom about whatever he was talking to, and I remember getting his little door pamphlet and reading it, not knowing what it was talking about. But those things do impact. And the older people in Milwaukee and elected officials are somewhat of role models to kids, and they look up and they want to do that. I have done the opposite for my daughter. She's like, it's no way I'm going into politics, but she still was around it. What we have a caller. Let's see what this caller has to say.
Good morning.
Good
Thank you
morning,
for
caller. How are you? Thank you for joining.
Great.
Be a voice.
Thank you for taking my call. I'm calling because of the Amani area. I happened to be at that Saturday meeting, and what they thought of the Amani area kind of, perplexed the people that were there. So I'm glad that you're on. It looked at Amani as an elderly population with a lot of young people.
Okay.
And they didn't speak too highly of things. And then there was another issue that came up with the it's when you tell people that you can't make changes to some things instantly, because the people that have those liquor licenses, You just can't get rid of them. They have to violate something in order for you to have them removed. Is that true? Is that true, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is no magic bullet to anything. And
So,
again, I have to get in to learn and appreciate things. But now, if you made a complaint, or if you talked to me about it, or if you had something to say about it, I definitely will note it and get to it. And it'll begin again working with
okay,
you.
and then my next thing would be, they had brought up, you both were going back and forth with, should we have the people that have liquor stores and businesses in that black community, should they be contributing to that community? And they should be. If you have a business in that area and there's a function going on, you should be, if they come and ask for, water, food, whatever it is that you can contribute, or even doing, let's say like Veterans Day, put out flags, or Christmas, just put around, the wreath around the light pole. I think if you're in a business district, and we have some that's running down Hopkins, I think on the other side of Hopkins is someone else, but on one side of the street it would be Khalid, used to be Khalid area. So just because I'm asking someone, and I'm speaking like as if I were an alderman, and I ask you to contribute to something, that don't guarantee you that I'm going to sign up for you getting liquor license. It's going to be what my constituents want. Would that not be the case?
That will be the case. I work for you. Actually, I could be honest with you. I haven't even talked to any businesses yet.
Okay.
It's been suggested to go talk to businesses, make sure I introduce myself. The only business I talked to was the laundromat owner on 51st and Hampton, and that's just because I was in there washing my covers.
Okay, and check this out.
but
And
um,
that's
but
my
I
next
just want to
thing.
say I haven't talked to any businesses yet. I just felt like it would have been a distraction, and again, I work for the people.
Not a distraction. Because number one, I would let them know who you. Okay, the one guy said when he get in office, the first thing he was going to do is talk to all the businesses in the area. He wasn't speaking of Amani. He was speaking of some other area. But and then he also brought up that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. That there are people working in the community. When you meet with your constituents, the people in the community have nothing to do with that alderman that should be doing that job. And I wanted to know if you win, are you going to have an administrative assistant?
Absolutely, you have to have administrative assistant. That's just part of the job. If I'm in a meeting, everybody would just talk to the answer machine all day. But that's where you have a strong administrative assistant. Now, what I look
And
at, what I look at is if my administrative assistant let's say, takes your complaint, let's say, tree down in front of your house. The administrative system, I would plan mine to take the complaint, put it in, and also put it on my calendar as a redundancy to follow up. I look at it like every Thursday morning or something, following up with everybody if the job was done
okay,
correctly.
and then
Things
let me tell you the next thing. One thing, it was some good, really excellent administrative assistants down there. All the way from Willie Wade to Khalees Rainey, they had really good assistants where if they were not available, they would know where to put that complaint. So so you would want to get someone, if you get the job, find out who those last people were so that they could train your administrative assistant to be just as handy as you are. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But real quick, I want to straighten something out. When I was in the event the other day, I referred to the district as top and bottom. And I would talk to somebody from Amani afterwards that said bottom was associated with like less than. I was just referring to the geographical locations. I just want to let you know I put the correction in, and going forward, I will only be referring to everything as east and west and north and south. Never eat soggy waffles.
Okay. So,
Well, ma'am,
so
I thank you.
thank you for taking my questions, and and that was only because I was at the meeting, so I'll let someone else call in and ask something else. Thank you for
All
taking
right.
my
No,
call.
no, and we thank you because those are the questions that we can bring people on and talk to people, but I also need
Their constituents.
they need their constituents. They need people to call. They need people to to reach out. Um, there and I think you will get to know this when you go in that there is ways to to hold businesses accountable, with letters. With every time a liquor license is back up, they have to do a background check, for the police department. Look how many complaints are there. Those complaints, you doing complaints does help, and it gives you some foundation to get rid of whatever nuisance uh, stores that are there. So there is ways that you can do that, and that is all through your office, or at least being able to testify. We have I have a question for you.
Okay.
Is there something that, and you talked a little bit about the apprenticeship, but is there a component in your campaign, or as you do this work, that really touches your heart, that makes you love Milwaukee, that loves that area? Did you grow up in there? Do you live in that area now?
Yeah, I live in the area now. Grew up in the area, and I also lived in the Monty area. When I was 18, I purchased my first house on 24th and Center.
Mm-hmm.
Now I gave it to my son, so it's his problem. And just giving him what I had, and then
I mean, generational wealth. You are trying to create generational wealth. Yes, this is what Milwaukee needs.
Absolutely. And then being out and meeting so many people that live the way I live the way my family lived. My family always lived in duplexes.
Mm-hmm.
My mother lived downstairs, my grandmother lived upstairs, and I lived like that my entire life. And I didn't realize that it was hard to explain that to somebody. I tried to get a girl to move in with me that way. Like, look, I got boys, you got daughters. I'll move upstairs. Y'all can have the downstairs because it's bigger. Like, I don't want to be your neighbor. And I realized, like, oh, the way I lived is not typical to what everybody else lived.
That's typical to me, because my grandmother lived upstairs, and that's a duplex, and my mom and dad and my brother and I lived downstairs.
And I actually would like to push that and promote that. I mean, things are getting so expensive now, and you wouldn't believe how many houses I go to where everybody is by themselves. This 60-year-old woman's by herself, 67-year-old woman's by herself, this 55-year-old man's by herself, and it's like,
are you trying to say 50-ish people are old? Did he just call me old, Latoya?
No.
Latoya, he called me old.
I never said an age or anything.
You said 50-something. You called me old.
No,
I'm so sad. I'm just messing with you.
And I just will promote that. I mean, it just makes it so much easier. And when you're not struggling, or when you now have to think about things, you could be on offense. And I think that's a lot of things with the Black community. That's what we have different from other communities. When you're talking to somebody and they're always trying to say, why you don't just do this, or why you guys just don't do that. We live different lives, man. Our experience and our lives are completely different from any other race, And like I said, I think we always on defense. And that's why I was trying to raise my boys to be a little more on offense. You still got to give them the right stuff, but you got to be on offense.
It is 414-444-5250. Any callers want to talk to DeAndre Jackson? I keep saying Jackson. We're going to take a break in a little bit and get back to you. DeAndre, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
are now listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio.
Welcome back to Be a Voice, WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Phone lines are open, 414-444-5250. You like that?
You gotta say it slow sometimes too, Tamika. You gotta say 414-444-5250.
I kind of like that 444.
So we just had the 7th district aldermanic candidate DeAndre Jackson in, but now we are switching districts and we are welcoming Stacy Smiter. I have tried this and he told me, and then I still messed it up. But he is running in the 5th automatic district. Interesting.
Yes.
You have an incumbent in there, don't you?
Yes, currently I do.
So let's start with how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good on this blessed, beautiful Tuesday.
And let's talk about you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you like? Your name, family, like where you come from? It's gonna be real simple until we get to the nitty gritty.
Oh, of course. Well, everyone, my name is Stacy Smiter. I was born in Chicago, Illinois, moved up here to Milwaukee when I was 6. So I've been here for 31 years. I'm 37, so I consider myself a Milwaukeean through and through. I went to elementary, middle school, and high school. Madison, class of 04, let's go. But also,
where did you say?
I went to Madison.
Oh, okay.
Madhouse.
You better represent.
Oh, of course, class of 04. It was beautiful. But I am also a father, a brother, a friend, a husband as well. I've been married to my wife going on 2 years now. Her name is Xavier. I've been with her for 12 years come March, but we don't celebrate that anniversary anymore.
Okay.
You know, we on to another anniversary now. So, and I also have 3 beautiful kids. My oldest, his name is Andrew. Then my middle child is my son Micah, and then my daughter, my princess, her name is London.
Okay.
You know, basically, she act like she runs the house, of course.
What do you mean? Basically, act like the way you said that she run that house.
Yeah. That
How
much I
old
can
is
say.
she?
She's 8. She just turned
yeah,
8
she
February
run it.
3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
She run it.
Oh, she run it.
Yeah, she's a daddy's girl, true and through.
I am too.
So, one of the questions I always ask every candidate, and I'm going to ask you, what does an alderman do?
Okay,
Or alderperson?
that's a great question. That's a very excellent question, and I feel like
In your eyes, I should say.
in my eyes, but also from the Wisconsin statute, but also the law. What an alderman is, they both the legislative, but also the administrative of a district. I always like to tell everyone that look at it like a business. The mayor is the CEO, and the 15 aldermen are each department supervisor. And their responsibility is to make sure that their department is producing revenue, generating the income for all of the residents, but also providing, making sure that the safety is there. The resources is needed, from our garbage pickup to our street lighting, all the way down to just the littering in the city. So that's what the role and responsibility of the alderman is, and that's what an alderman is. They are a legislator, but also administrator of an area. So it's your responsibility to make sure that that district is thriving and being resourceful, but also just having the basic necessities we need as residents.
Okay, because this is the when we and I keep saying this as we go into knowing who our older people are, knowing who our school board members or our state reps or senators, whatever. They have to know what their job is.
Absolutely,
Because a
absolutely.
lot of I have found out some people don't know what their job is until actually they get in there. And I always say they're policymakers first and foremost, and that's my first thing.
Yes.
That is something that I push out because nothing. Do you remember when we had these protests all across the country
Yes.
during
George Floyd.
George Floyd, and there was millions of people across this country protesting. But if you couldn't get an alder, a school board, a senator, a congresswoman or congressperson to listen to you,
It was
all that was pointless.
Absolutely.
So when I say you're a policymaker, it doesn't matter how much for me, it doesn't matter how much you talk to the people. If you're not willing to put the policy up, if you're not willing to create it or fight for it, then
Absolutely.
you're not really doing your job. What are the things that you care about in regards to like I said in the previous interview, everybody usually has their 3 points. What are your 3 important points as you do this work?
I'm a firm believer that when you put like talking points together and or have main points to take away from the whole concept and the whole aspect. So to me, the most important thing that I want to do as the alderman when I get in office is to go out into my district. That's very important to me to really understand and know what's going on in your district. You have to be in the district. I grew up in times where a lot of people may not really care for Mike McGee Jr. and or his father too much, but they were in the districts.
Them was my boys.
Those was my boys because I knew that at any moment they were in the district with the residents, resonating with the residents, and not just only in there for photo op moments or during these times. They were actually in there to make sure that they know what's going on and figuring out what they can do.
That's who made me want to get into politics is Senior.
Absolutely,
Michael McGee
yes.
Senior.
And so that's one of the most important things that I'm going to do when I first get in is to know, other than what I'm doing now with the door-to-door knocking and hearing from the residents, but I want to be there firsthand, figuring out, okay, this is the issues we're faced with. This is what is taking place. Here's my solutions. This is what I'm gonna do to implement them. And if all of my colleagues isn't on board, we will have to continue to fight until we get it done. So that's the first thing that I want to do. And the second thing, and the most simplest thing that I want to do is execute a plan to truly address this reckless driving that we hear so much about for years. Since 2018, we've been screaming heavy about the reckless driving, but yet everyone's platform is running on that with no real resolution. So I really want to put in a resolution that involves hearing from the residents and all of the parties affected by it, all of what I call the shareholders affected by it. And then start implementing resolutions. Don't just get to doing things and we pop up one day, we got common street lights, common streets where it really ain't common anything, just more traffic backup and people playing Russian roulette to get in front of you. And then also we won't be just wasting millions of dollars on projects that's sitting on the back burner. Reality misappropriation and reappropriation of the funds. That's what I want to look at. Make sure that all of the funds aren't just sitting there and we can free it up for other things. So those are the most important things to me that I want to do once I get in. First is see what's going on in my district, spend my first 6 months knowing my district, meeting my residents, letting them know who I am, letting them know who they elected.
You mean doing a little training?
Yes, that's
learning.
it. That's it. That's it, and that's all.
All right, we got a caller. Let me see what this caller has to say. Caller, you are on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
I'm calling. Welcome. I got a quick question for my young man. I just tuned in. I'm not sure. I didn't get your name. I'm not sure what district you're part of. Um,
Wait,
but
say your name again and what district?
Yes, my name is Stacy Smiter, and I'm running for 5th District.
okay, what area is that exactly?
It goes from, depending on which side of center you on, whether the south or the north. If you're on the north side, it goes from 76 in center to Lovers Lane and Silver Spring. Then it goes, restarts on 107th and Mill Road to 117th and Mill Road. You have pockets of Granville as well as Menominee Valley. So it's a pretty big district and one of the most diverse.
Shatia's old district?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Was that Shatia's old district? Is that her name?
No.
Shatia?
Shantia
No.
Lewis,
That's
No.
District 9. This is actually District 5. It was formal Nikita Cobbs and currently held by Lamont Westmoreland. Dobbs, I mean, is her name. My apologies.
Okay, no, it's all right. And the young lady that is with you, I want to thank her for making a statement that I'm going to take off. I'm making a statement regarding that being an alderman that you have to want to incorporate new policies, because I think that's very important. Not to take the light away from you, my friend, but I've also been interested in running for alderman as well. I'm very disappointed that the city of Milwaukee has more African American aldermen than we ever had, but they're silent. And this is a time of turmoil in the city of Milwaukee, and I hope that you can be one of the first and more that want to see real change for the city of Milwaukee. I work in the city of Milwaukee in the school district, and as I have my own business, and I keep on hearing what I call our elders complain about their answers and their questions not being heard. One of my biggest concerns is the future of education, not just in Milwaukee, but in the United States as well. And I've asked questions to our mayor and other people. What do you feel about the educational system that's going on here? And they are silent as well. I wonder, have you thought about where we are as a community in terms of education? This is something that, as African American slaves, we fought for. A lot of us died for and had to literally hide to get educated. And now, a lot of our kids in the school system are not learning, are not educated. We don't have a lot of African American males even in the education system, and it's very discouraging. And we also, a lot of things that are going on within education are not even making the front page. Pregnancy rate is skyrocketing in the city of Milwaukee, and you probably won't ever hear these things because of commercialism and how all that works. So I just my thing is education right now, and I think we really need to focus on education. I think that will help with the reckless driving. That will help everything in terms of getting kids back into school. Some schools have an enrollment, and I'm not going to take up all your time. Have an enrollment. I think it's most in schools have an enrollment of over 500 kids, and only 200 kids are showing up. So where are the kids? So that's all I have to say. And I look forward to seeing you in office, sir. I wish you luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He has some valid points. But remember, as much as he has some very valid points, but remember, you're an alderperson. You're not school board.
Absolutely.
You can help assist that, but that is where we kind of dip into other spots, other spaces,
Other realms that we
and
don't have control over, but those are also elected positions that we are putting people in. So just like with any job, if you don't like it, you can always connect with someone to figure it out. But also too, if they're not doing it and they're not meeting your standards, it's time to recall and replace. We are elected officials. We are coming to you guys' door and asking for y'all to give us permission to get on these ballots. We are asking for your vote. It's not the other way around where y'all coming to us and say, hey, would you join the school board? Hey, would you be our alderman? So accountability. If the accountability piece is in there and they're not doing the job, replace them. Replace it.
One of the things that I, as Wisconsin Voices, we do talk about a lot is accountability. We want the people to decide who their elected officials are. the neighborhoods, the districts, they have to decide who they want to represent. We will just support and make sure that we push for people to get out the vote and go out there and vote. But also holding them accountable. We are going to be conducting a civics kind of 101 presentation on the 24th, and you can go on our website after today and it'll be there. And we're going to talk about, what does an alderperson do? What is our branches of government? People forget after a while, they forget who they are and what branch do I need to talk to? Like you were talking about garbage pickup. I worked for Senator Taylor during the pandemic, and we got calls that should have been to Gwen Moore's office. We got calls that should have been at Alderman office or the county supervisor's office. And all of them were in her Senate office, and they had nothing to do with it, but she still made sure that we, sent them to the right place. But you get frustrated after a while because you have just called 5 people and you didn't get the right one. Well, we're trying to help you to get there.
And shouldn't it
Well,
be
we got
easy?
about, go ahead.
Shouldn't it be easy though?
It should be. We are going to continue our series here of talking to candidates. We were just a couple of announcements where we would love for you to come to our gala, people. Our gala is February 16th at the Bavarian Beer House. Please go to wisconsinvoices.org, click on the gallery link. We are getting close that we are full, so we really want to make sure that anybody who wants to come can come to our gala. We are going to be giving awards away for people who have protected democracy, who have built community, and who have taught advocacy around our areas in our community. And then we're giving the one award that we are so proud of, which is the Community Hero Award. That hero goes to a person that has done so much great work in the community, and we just want to recognize them. We'll be continuing the series on Friday, and next week we'll have whoever gets to the primary back after February 20th. So we look forward to possibly seeing you again. This is Be a Voice, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Latoya, Joe, got any last words?
Make sure you hashtag and be a voice.
And see you Friday.
Early voting starts today,
Yes.
February 6th.
Make sure you have your voice heard.
Thank you.